Hello and welcome to Pod Meets World. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.
And this week we're discussing the episode The Thrilla in Philla. This episode originally aired May 5th, 1995. Yes, almost 2 months since the last episode.
Yeah.
Which was like March 10th.
Took a while.
Yeah,
Yes.
They probably needed the money for it.
Viewership for this episode, 17.8 million. Number one at the box office this week, French Kiss. No, I don't know what this movie is. And nobody does.
Most likely it's a romance.
I would assume so.
Probably.
I think it's a horror movie at heart. Although I think most movies are horror movies.
Aside from the movies that actually are horror movies, in which case you think they're amazing.
Well, they usually are. Anyway, number one on the Billboard charts this week. Any guesses?
I don't know, it's been a few weeks or something.
Well, it's been about 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. So that's several.
That does not answer my question.
No, I don't have any ideas.
This Is How We Do It by Montel Jordan. And yes, it is the song that you're thinking of. And yes, it is now stuck in your head.
It is.
I don't remember the rest of the lyrics past that.
No, you remember one line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Congratulations, song. That's all it does.
And that is the only line anybody remembers.
It's like there's another part of the song.
I blame it on repetition. That and I
Yeah.
think most of the rest of the song was kind of rap.
That might be the case.
Or, this is a controversial point, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, most likely.
Video games. So we have a few things that came out. May I start? Kirby's Magic Dream Land 2 on March 21st.
Neat.
Mega Man 7 on March 24th.
Was that the one with Snake Man?
I have no idea.
It's the one on the Super Nintendo. I don't remember all that's in it.
Mortal Kombat 3 on April 15th in the arcades. And Super Bomberman 3 on April 28th.
Oh man, Bomberman. How he has stood the test of time. And by that I mean he's kind of suffering in a ditch 20 miles back.
I blame Konami.
Alright, number one on TV for the week. Any guesses? Give you a hint, it's not a regular show.
It's not Boy Meets World.
No, not even
Unfortunately.
close. So this episode, well, let's just do a little comparison here. This episode did 17.8 million. This film did 39.1 million on a Sunday night.
On a Sunday night. What's on a Sunday night usually?
It's a movie.
Yeah, wouldn't it be like usually some Disney movies went on like Sunday nights or something?
Jurassic Park.
Well, that
So
was
not
the
a Disney film.
Okay.
But it was, I believe it was the first time it aired on network television.
Well, yeah, no wonder why everyone was going to watch it.
Because it's a great movie.
Yeah, really.
WWF champion at the time?
Hulk Hogan? No, wait, no, that was not that one.
No.
It's the
this is
fire
Diesel.
one.
Diesel. And WCW champion at the time?
That's the one you were thinking.
That was Hulk Hogan.
There you go. You know wrestling things now.
I was going to swap them because I forgot completely what's what.
They're different companies, Justin.
Yeah.
It just kind of all smooshes into one giant ball of the wrestling thing that Paul adores and Justin just doesn't understand.
It's like Paul was cramming everything anime into a ball of this is shit anime.
Because it is. Anyway,
That's what wrestling is.
shut up. This episode starts with Corey and Sean hanging out in the hallway where they are approached by Topanga, who'd like to know what they accomplished in their first year of high school so she can add it to the yearbook. They realize that they haven't achieved anything.
Yeah.
Well, there was that time. No, that wasn't us.
We've had how many girlfriends? That's an accomplishment, alright?
And while Sean is fine with it, Corey yearns to make a name for himself. He blames the nearby jocks, telling Sean that the jocks with their jackets and their girls will prevent him from ever being something. Savage, the captain of the wrestling team, has another jock pick up Sean, who he claims is too heavy, and then Corey, who he adds is the perfect size. Savage tells Corey that they need someone in the light weight for their wrestling team, and Corey is now one of them. They give Corey a varsity jacket as well as Candy, a girl who is to be with Corey at all times. They also give him the little singlet too.
And thus the coin is flipped.
Meanwhile, Mr. Feeney's history class is interrupted by a masseuse who comes in to give Griff Hawkins a massage.
Well, ain't that marvelous? Looks like he enjoyed himself.
Mr. Feeney refuses to tolerate Griff's antics and wheels Griff out of the room on the massage table. Only to see Frankie and Joey return from the airport with a crate of fresh lobsters imported from Maine. It's so good.
He's got connections.
Griff invites Feeney to a late lunch, offering him a 4-pound lobster if Feeney can drop the matter at hand. But Feeney simply tells Griff that he's got detention after class. When Frankie and Joey attempt to follow Griff into detention, Feeney bluntly asks them how come they haven't got lives of their own. While Frankie doesn't mind having his whole life revolve around being a lackey, Joey, on the other hand, cannot handle having his own life independent from serving someone else. The next morning, Amy and Alan watch as Eric struggles down the stairs with a toothbrush in his mouth and Corey on his back, who has his arms around Eric's throat. He's trying a chokehold, which you can't do in amateur wrestling. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. And this is like school wrestling. There are two very different things.
They
would just be school fights then.
They would just be doing amateur wrestling.
Men.
Which is the same thing they do in the Olympics. You're not allowed to choke You're not allowed to choke a bitch out in that.
Yeah.
I tried.
I'm not surprised, but
Corey tells his parents that he's now part of the school's wrestling team, which Alan is ecstatic over, although Amy is against it, believing Corey will get severely hurt. No, he won't!
Yeah, no, it's school.
It's also amateur wrestling.
He'd only get hurt if he's gonna go against some big guys.
Well, first off, you're in weight classes, and second off, it's a high school wrestling team. I mean, technically you could get like a freak injury, but regardless, Alan signs Corey's permission slip. Later that day at Chubby's, Topanga asks Corey, who's with Candy, about his greatest achievement, which Corey says is being on the wrestling team, and his personal quote, which is, "Arr!" Topanga decides to ask Sean his questions for the yearbook, but ends up asking him what Corey will be like in 10 years. Instead of asking Sean where he'll be in 10 years, Sean realizes Topanga likes Corey and begins to tease her, causing her to get defensive quickly.
Yeah, just the tiny shift from the occasional little grr in the classroom for the teasing to grabbing him by the cuff and being like, "Don't you even dare."
Mr. Turner sees Corey and another member of the wrestling team roughing it out and assumes that they're beating up on Corey, and comes to Corey's rescue and asks Corey which of the jocks threw the first punch, only to be surprised that Corey did. Again, you don't throw punches in amateur wrestling.
In their case, they were roughhousing. Corey explains it.
Corey tells Turner that he's now a jock and that they're just horsing around. Mr. Turner, like Amy, believes Corey will get severely hurt. But Corey assures him that since he is the only person in his weight class, he'll never have to fight anybody. Again, anyway. However, just as he says this, Savage walks in and tells Corey that someone else has signed up for the team in his weight class. Frankie walks in, with Corey wondering what the range in his weight class is. Because Frankie's fucking huge.
Nah, there's a bit of a difference.
Although Griff walks in later and tells him that he'll be fighting Joey, who joined the team in order to make a name for himself and be his own person.
Supposed yay for being his own person. That's how much yay that Corey is most likely going to get the boots.
The next day, Sean walks in as Corey is skipping rope, which breaks in two. Corey tells him that since lifting weights is too heavy for him, this is pretty much the only workout he can do. Frankie and Joey walk in and begin their training as well. Frankie assumes a sumo position he learned touring Japan the previous summer. Once again, you cannot use sumo in amateur wrestling. Which, although the Olympics would be a lot better if they did use sumo.
Maybe. Then, the big guys can, be...
Bump bellies.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what they do in sumo.
They, I don't know, they kind of slap each other a bit and try to push them out of the ring.
No, they just do flying belly attacks.
That's just wrestling.
No, it's not. Anyway. Joey is unable to take down Frankie the first 2 times, which makes Corey believe that the match is in the bag, but on the 3rd one, Joey rushes at Frankie and then jumps on him, kicking Frankie in the face.
Supposedly drop kick.
He does do a drop kick, which again, you can't do in amateur wrestling.
And now the little voice in my saying, ow, 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 ow.
Corey tugs at Sean's arm, scared. During the match, Sean tells Corey that if Joey is able to take down Frankie, the immovable, then all he'll have to do is move. When the match begins, Joey rushes at Corey. Corey moves, which causes Joey to turn around and ask Frankie if his opponent is allowed to move. Like, no, they just have to sit there.
They stand there and just take the hits, like a good boy.
Yeah, exactly. Which causes Joey to with his back turned to Corey, Corey easily takes Joey down. Joey's kicked off the team and Corey is allowed to keep his spot. Joey demands a rematch, but Savage tells him that Corey won fair and square. Which prompts Joey to ask for a match that's unfair and unsquare. Oh, that's high quality bollocks. Joey begins to constantly harass Corey, calling him yellow, until Corey tells Joey to stop. Joey demands a rematch, and Savage tells him simply to pound Joey. Griff walks in and tells them that he swiped janitor Bud's keys and arranges a rematch between the two the following night at the school gym. Corey and Sean go to the school at night, Corey believing that no one will be there except Griff and the Jocks, but is surprised to see the whole school there, or at least the popular clique at the very least. Corey attempts to back down, but Griff refuses to let him, telling him that he pulled a lot of strings and called them a lot of favors to set this up.
And oh boy, did he ever.
Robert Goulet walks in, and so does Yasmin Bleeth from Baywatch. Eric shows up as well, having paid $50 to watch an idiot get pounded. It even says this on the ticket, as well as sit next to Yasmin. Goulet announces that Frankie's pro wrestling father, Veda, is also in attendance. Veda tells Corey that if he manages to take down Joey, he'll have to fight him afterwards. Which, yes, I want to see this.
It would be so quick, though. What would be the point?
It would be funny. Sean accidentally rings the bell, commencing the match. Hey, Corey, what's this?
Accidentally.
It's so good. Corey easily overpowers Joey. Joey defeated tags Frankie in. Which, yet again, in amateur wrestling, there are no tag rules. Which, although, again, that would improve amateur wrestling.
I think they were trying to go with the improvements.
I'm all in favor of these improvements. Takes Frankie in. Eric rushes to Corey's side, telling Corey to get out, but Corey tells him in doing so, Eric is now tagged in. Apparently they're using Mexican rules, because I don't think they actually tagged. Frankie pulls Eric into the ring. Eric tries rushing at him, but fails, and resorts to flicking Frankie in the forehead twice, which causes Frankie to fall down in pain. Frankie takes his father in, who grabs Eric by his body and his groin and hoists him up into a military press. However, before he can do any serious damage, Mr. Feeney walks in along with Mr. Turner and asks Vader to put Eric down. Feeney gets in the ring and tells Vader that if he doesn't put Eric down, he'll reveal to everyone that Vader's real name is in fact Leslie. Vader puts Eric down, and the rematch is concluded, with Corey being named the winner as he did take Joey down. Corey tells Savage that he no longer wishes to be on the wrestling team and turns his jacket in. Candy tells him that she goes wherever the jacket goes and leaves with Savage. Topanga approaches Corey to give her a quote for the yearbook. Corey asks Topanga what she wrote, and then tells her to write the same thing for him. Later that day, Feeney has Griff, Joey, Frankie, and Corey in detention. Corey's scared to spend detention alone with them. Griff tells him that detention with him is a pleasure, at which point Robert Goulet walks in and begins to sing, and all 4 students are seen enjoying the performance.
You're not supposed to have fun in detention.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
You just have to invent your own fun.
Alrighty, so did either of you have anything to add about this episode?
Feeney entered the ring.
Oh man, that Feeney.
His moves are basically just interrogation. Not interrogation.
It's also a
but
tiny ring.
Yeah, it was very small. Like, seeing Vader inside this ring, I'm like, you can't...
It's like an 8-foot square.
barely fit in it.
It's like an 8-foot square ring.
Yeah.
It's
You don't have much room to move around in. I mean, it's probably made with, like, you know, the weight class in mind or something. I'm not even sure.
I think just with the materials they had on hand.
Yeah. And I mean, those ropes aren't really made to support anybody in this case. And yeah, it's not a 20 by 20 or even an 18 by 18, like an actual pro wrestling ring.
Well,
yeah, and it has to like
would
fit in the room, I guess.
Yeah, how much that would fit in a
You
gymnasium?
could fit a pro wrestling ring in a gym, in a high school gym. Trust me,
And you
it's
want
been
the
done before.
And you want the crowd to actually be around there, because there wasn't actually any like standings anywhere really.
Aside from just the couple of bleachers on the one side.
Like the gym we had at high school, you could easily put a ring in the center there and you'd have plenty of seating. Don't question me on things like this. Anyway, anything else you wanted to add about this episode?
No, I think
other than that Vader is amazing.
Vader did his part, and with interacting with Feeney was decently hilarious, since Vader supposedly was his student at some point.
Which is great.
Indeed.
Ridiculous, but yes.
Being talked down by Feeney.
No, and I think aside from that, just the interactions with everyone, with the sport antics of things, as well as just the cute little moment with Corey and Topanga at the end of the episode.
Yes, so Vader will be in more episodes.
Neat.
Uh-huh.
Which is very good news. It's very, very good news.
Oh boy.
He'll be a recurring character.
Interesting.
And it will be very good for me.
I bet.
Anyway, the next episode we'll be discussing is Career Day. So they're going to have a career day in Corey's class.
Oh, man.
And we're going to meet Sean's dad.
Oh, man.
Chet.
Yay.
Oh, man.
The man who invented CNN. Anyway, until next time, I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.